Hello and welcome back to the Coot de Villa podcast. I'm Noah Fisher, joined by Jakey as always, and Owen decides to jump on last moment. So I'll go to you first, Owen.
Hello.
What a result for Aston Villa, and as people are saying, a bit of a Turkish delight.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me on. This is very kind of last minute. I was literally just scrolling YouTube at home and I saw that it was upcoming. I thought, hang on a minute, I can jump on here. So here I am, very, very last minute. Yeah, a brilliant win. I think it was one that most people will have written off when the draw was first made, but I would probably go to say that makes up for the go-ahead Eagles result earlier on in the tournament. And obviously now we'll go into it, of course, but top two not secured, but top 8 is secured, and we're in a brilliant position to get top 2, which obviously is important for the later stages of the tournament as well. But yeah, good performance. Probably could have been 3-4, 5-0 across the pitch. I thought we defended brilliantly. We had chance after chance. So yeah, that's a nice one to have, especially after the weekend's antics, which were not pretty.
Yeah, exactly that. And Jakey, on to you, I guess, top 2 in our own hands, which is very important, thanks to a man by the name of Marco Bizot.
Yeah, I was a bit skeptical when we first signed him at the start of the season, but he's really showing that he can be a quite a consistent contributor when Emi Martinez decides that he doesn't want to play. Yeah, he's become really, really consistent. I can't remember the last time we had such a consistent backup to a main goalkeeper. Robin Olsen was okay in moments, but I think the word on everyone's lips at the moment is Marco Bizot.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying like they wouldn't mind potentially seeing him play against Newcastle if this Martinez back injury, whatever he has going on, Inter Milan contract hanging over his head, keeps him out. Like Bizot seems to do a very, very good job when he comes in between the sticks for us. Another man that I thought had a very good performance, OT, Jadon Sancho, and I'm absolutely buzzing for him that he finally got off the mark in a Villa shirt.
Yeah, I know you're a big admirer of Sancho's. I've got a lot of time for him. I think he works really hard, which is always handy. And I think we'd agreed before that he just needed a goal to kind of get going. And to be fair, last night he probably could have had a hat trick at times. Especially there was that one chance, the one that ended up coming off the ref in the end or whatever. But yeah, it's good to see him have a goal. And it's almost like a bit of a relief for him. I think you can see the relief on his face. Potentially someone we could look at in the summer and keep in permanent. Obviously, I know the kind of financial side of stuff will kind of play a part. But yeah, buzzing for him. He needed that. And yeah, it kind of helped cap off a brilliant performance.
I think he's out of contract at the end of the season, I think. I'm not too sure, but if someone on a free transfer, I'd absolutely take through the doors.
Well, he's not going to be wanted. Man United aren't going to want him.
No. I mean, the one thing I've heard that they can do, I think they have an option for a further year or something, which could help them with their financial stretching the contract.
Yeah, they might just give him a contract and then try and sell him.
Yeah. I mean, they could try selling to us. But, I mean, you touched on one of those chances before from Sancho. I mean, in other games, Jakey, that could hurt us. We had abundance of chances, especially in the first half and early in the second half.
Well, as Owen said beforehand, it really could have been 3-4, 5-0. But to Fenerbahçe's credit, they also banged in a few of their own. It was just unfortunate that they were offside. This fixture could have really been one of the big all-time European nights, and we touched on it earlier. The 3 points is so crucial, especially after the go-ahead Eagles and our confidence taking a hit after Everton last week. To come away with 3 points from Istanbul, I think that's where Fenerbahçe are. Yes. To come away with 3 points from Turkey is absolutely huge for us, and sets up, the top the fight for top 2, which is again all important.
I know you weren't there, OT, but you'd have seen a lot on social media how the away fans were shuttle bussed into the game 5 hours early. I think they had 3 sets of ticket checks and whatnot. Probably one of the most hectic away days you might experience. But from what have you heard from the boys over there on how it was?
I think the kind of initial build-up was, this is massively heavy-handed, the obscene travel, all the ticket checks. It all seemed a bit unnecessary, given that we have a pretty exemplary record as away supporters within Europe. We never seem to have any issues. It always seems to be brought onto us. And I think that's just like an English thing. It's all England fans are coming over again. They're going to cause chaos and smash it up or whatever, which isn't the case. But on the flip side, I think by the sounds of things, it didn't actually go too badly. They were stuck in the ground for a bit, but it was stuck to the time that Villa had said they were going to be stuck in the ground for. The buses, like I believe Max mentioned on his video, weren't like those shuttle buses that you end up kind of having to stand up and clinging on for dear life, and it's rammed on there. At least everyone had a seat on the coach. And the police seemed to be quite fine. Apparently, the police were giving out snacks and stuff apparently on the way back. So those sorts of things help. And I kind of guess that's just the way it is with European games. Anyone that has been would know that it's never straightforward, not like a domestic UK away game where you can just turn up and waltz around the ground and walk into the ground and chat away. So yeah, it didn't sound as bad as maybe Athens was. I don't know, Poland was pretty horrendous as well. But yeah, I think a lot of people will just be glad it's done. Although there is the potential to be heading back there sometime very soon.
Yeah, that'd be quite good if we were on the way back to Istanbul. Actually, one player I forgot to mention. Yeah, I don't think he played. Was it Liverpool away? Tyrone Mings got injured, or was it Go Ahead Eagles? One of the two. Like they were very close together, but he hasn't played since October, November time. Got the armband, and what an absolute performance from him, Jakey.
Yeah, good to have the big man back. It's you know what, it's honestly for a person who's been at the club for a long time, it doesn't really it matters. We want him on the park, but at the same time, like he's just such a big part of what we're about defensively, and you know we've got that going well at the moment for us defensively. But he just adds to it, and he's a clear leader on and off the pitch. I love him. And it was great to see him back. Black Country Villain said he's had John Duran in his pocket. 100% he 100% he did. John Duran didn't get anywhere near it when Mings was around. So, and we all know that John Duran can seriously hurt us. We know what he's capable of, and to obviously nullify him was a long way in going to get the 3 points.
Actually, one thing I did forget to mention was obviously Duran and Asensio both playing, but I thought it was quite wholesome after the game to see Asensio. I think it was Esri Konza, Morgan Rogers, all having a chat like in the middle of the park. I mean, if things had gone differently, Marco Asensio could easily be an Aston Villa player and could have been playing for us that night. I'm kind of happy he didn't hurt us because I think I'd have been absolutely devastated if someone like Asensio scored a goal, seeming how good he was for us in the back half of last season. Were you surprised, I guess, not how poor Fenerbahçe were, but with the talent they've got, they didn't really cause us so many issues?
The first half surprised me a lot. I mean, the way they set up, obviously, it kind of made sense as to the way the first half played out. Their midfield three was Asensio was down as to be in the midfield, and I think he did play more like a 10, which left them with Fred and I can't remember who the other player was. I don't know if it was a known one. But every time they lost the ball, they were so open in the midfield. Yeah. Hence why it could have been 5 or 6-0 at half time. And I'm sure anyone that did watch it knows that's not an exaggeration either. Like, we just cut through them. But it was so easy. Duran looked like the player that always seemed to start for Villa, not that impacts him off the bench. Like, he looked a little bit lost. He spent more time offside, which again will be touched on, I'm sure, in a minute. But he spent a lot of time offside, given they didn't really create a lot with the ball. A lot of it was just pot shots from like 35 yards out. Asensio's still a good player. Like, you can tell the quality there. And the lad they brought on, I think it was Anderson, in the second half, he was a threat. But no, as Jay said, Mings and Lindelof were sensational. And Lindelof massively goes under the radar. I don't think he's put a foot wrong since he's been in the club, especially in Europe. So yeah, given that we've made changes, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. And I think we've had a good game. And yeah, Fenerbahçe probably weren't as good as that kind of lived up to. Now, I know, Jay, you said it had the potential to be like a huge European night. Now, I guess maybe in the old format, it probably could have been. And I know this kind of is open up to debate about whether the old format or the new format of these European competitions are any good. I quite like this new competition format. It gives different teams a chance, and there's still jeopardy in every game. But yeah, I would have expected a bit more of Fenerbahçe, I think.
And we will touch on the disallowed goal, but before that, I think Lindelof's been sensational and a free transfer. Another player I was a little bit skeptical when we signed him, but I mean, in Emery we trust. As I think him or Mings put a foot wrong all game yesterday and were sensational and deserved a clean sheet. But the one time they were breached, I think Talisca was a great substitution for Fenerbahçe. he was amazing when he came on the park and probably should have scored that one-on-one chance he had against Marco Biza, but obviously the legend saved it. And then they break through and our boy JD9 standing offside before he plays the ball. Absolute clinical moment from him, Jakey.
Was he standing offside, or was it he's using his great big tripod that we saw frequently at Villa last season that kept him offside?
I'm pretty sure he was standing offside as well. But what I found funny is it was so clearly offside. Like I was watching it obviously live and God, they're celebrating this quite hard. Like maybe I saw it wrong. Like I thought I seen it wrong. They were playing all these songs going off, and I thought
I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think anything of it, and then they were kind of checking it, and they freeze the ball as the ball's gone in, and I thought, well, Duran's the only one offside, but I didn't think it went to him. I thought he went around the back.
Yeah.
And as soon as he gets fizzed into Duran, me and Luke were like, well, he's offside here. Like this will be chalked off. And to be fair, I think they were quite quick with that actually.
They were very quick. Yeah.
The ref was like, yeah, but he's offside, and got that sorted. But yeah, no one seemed to like. At times, I know you can kind of tell sometimes you go, oh, there might be a chance of offside there, but no one seemed to go, oh, it might be offside. They just thought, well, it's 1-1, and we've completely asked for that, given the fact we hadn't taken our chances. But those sorts of things can go on your side, and 3 points very handy in kind of the terms of the format of this league.
Oh, absolutely. And there's actually one moment I do want to touch on. It probably won't get too much publicity, but how funny was the Yuri Tielemans Unai Emery moment when he comes off the pitch, gets a big shove like a disappointed father, as Emery say, he's my son in his post-game presser. Obviously nothing to really see in it, but I just thought it was such a funny moment, Jakey.
Yeah, they tabloids have been going at that a little bit, saying that it was unprofessional to be shoving your player. I don't read all into it. I think it's good to have that sort of passion on the sideline. And look, those Yuri Tielemans and Emery do have a really good relationship. Obviously on, and it shows and it shows off the pitch as well. They're just two guys that are just really passionate about what they want to do and what they want to achieve. And no player likes being subbed off, especially a player like Yuri Tielemans. But it was a bit funny to watch, especially when you know that those two have quite a good relationship.
I think the reason he was fuming with him was, I think what had happened was the board had gone up and it said 7 minutes. And then about a minute in, his number comes up to come off. And the absolute machine that he is, he flew off the pitch. Like, he was not messing around. He ran off the pitch, where obviously we tried to kill the game and he should have just plodded off. Hence why it probably doesn't matter so much now, because we got the result. But yeah, I think that was why his head was a bit hot, because he come jogging off the pitch like it was absolutely nothing when he needed just to try and kill a few seconds.
He's coming off the pitch like we were 2-1 down and needed an equaliser.
Yeah, we needed an equaliser quick.
But that just proves how passionate Emery is, like, to not take your time and go off the pitch slowly, and to get off. And to be fair, George Hemmings looks like a very tidy player, by the way. I'm very excited to see kind of where his Villa career ends up, because obviously someone that Emery does trust, bringing him on in games. Like, he had such a good cameo against Everton, as we touched on, and I didn't think he put a foot wrong again in his 7 minutes, thanks to Yuri Tielemans, because he hummed off the pitch against Fenerbahçe. Like, I'm not sure you guys think about him, but there's something we will touch on. Obviously, before I went to bed last night, Tammy Abraham, here we go. The boy returns. We're getting the band back together. Who's going to be next? We've got McGinn, we've got Mings, we've got Tammy. What's Jed Steer doing these days?
Yeah, Jed Steer.
But I'm not sure what you guys think of what Tammy could do for us. I think I've read that he ends up being a lot cheaper than what we're going to get for Daniel Marlon, and he's taken a massive pay cut, which is massive for the regulations. But Jake is someone that I guess was so big in us returning to the top flight, and he's finally back.
Yeah, we've shown this a long way out that it's going to happen, and it's nice that he's coming back. It's someone that we obviously do really trust. It's not a person that we've got absolutely no idea about. It's someone who's played for the club before, and I guess this is probably one of the positive times, especially being an A-League supporter. You see the recycling and the revolving door that is the A-League sometimes here. But this one's definitely a positive space, and I for one, I'm really excited to have him back. I can't wait to see what he can do. Whether he actually starts against Newcastle on Monday, or whether he sits on the bench is I'm not sure, but it's going to be great to have him back.
I do have the bearer of bad news, but I don't think he can actually be in the squad at all because he has to be registered before 12 o'clock Friday in the UK. But someone that is going to be like a new signing OT, and if we can get back to his 23-24 form, is Leon Bailey, who I'm actually quite excited to have back in the Villa shirt. Someone, again, that knows the system well. Emery clearly didn't want him at the club this season, obviously sending him out with an obligation or option to buy. But I think this back end of the year, if we can see that 23-24 Bailey, we're in for something special as well.
I think it's someone handy to have, especially with the run-in. And we know from a couple of seasons ago how depleted the squad was at the back end of the Conference League season. It really, really caught up with us. I mean, I know Palace, for example, have been completely ripped to shreds, but had they kept a lot of their squad, I think they would have also struggled. It's happening to Forest, although, again, they're not brilliant either. But having someone like that that's played some good minutes, same as Tammy, played plenty of minutes, and just an extra player to have around the squad, extra competition, or as worse comes, it's backup if people get injured, is handy to have. Emery said that Bailey knows his way around the dressing room, which is obvious because he's been there for years. And Bailey will be one that goes straight in on Sunday. In all fairness, I don't think we'll even have the Abraham deal signed by Sunday. No. He is currently, if he isn't in the UK, he's about 38,000 feet in the air.
He's on his way. He's definitely on his way there.
And then his medical's tomorrow. So worst comes, they might announce it Sunday at some point, but potentially in for Thursday if we have Europa League back-to-back weeks, I think.
Can he play Europa League? Is he allowed to?
Oh, no, he can't play Europa League until the next round. Oh, actually, no, we were discussing this the other day. He won't be able to play in the group stage because we never registered him.
Yeah.
But he may be able to play in the knockouts because
we can change the squad.
Yeah, and Besiktas didn't qualify. They got knocked out in qualifiers.
Yeah.
So whereas had we signed Mateta, he wouldn't have been able to play at all because he played for Palace.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like Jake said, nostalgia, it's exciting times to have Tammy back. And I still think he's a decent striker and just gives us that extra option up front. And I think he's quite a similar player to to Ollie Watkins, sorry. And I would expect some goals from him. So, yeah, looking forward to having him back.
Do you reckon they will play together? Or because when Emery was at Villarreal, he used to have like a taller striker and then like an Ollie Watkins sort of striker that can get him behind, because I think it could be something that we could flirt with. I don't know, having like a big boy in there that can head them in. Something we haven't had for, I say, a long time. John Duran was kind of that striker for us, but I'm not too sure what to kind of expect. Obviously, Emery is the mastermind; he'll figure it out. But Jakey, where do you think Tammy does fit into our system?
Yeah, I think I think it's probably a good thing that we can try two up front with obviously Tammy and Watkins, up front. But you also got to factor in where does Morgan Rogers sit in all of this? Because a lot of the time this year it's been him and it's been Watkins and Rogers, and now with Tammy coming in. Where do you put Rogers? Do you put him out on the wing? His ball distribution is really good, and he's proven that he can play down the wing. But it'd definitely be a bit of a reshuffle. Certainly when Tammy comes in, I personally would like to see him up top with Ollie. I think those two have been pretty good when they were last together. But just touching on Leon Bailey, how well we saw it with Emi Buendia when he came back from loan. Not wanted by Emery in the summer. Was told that he could leave in the summer. Comes back and he's had a great season so far. So this could be the second making of Leon Bailey if he's willing to put in the work. I mean, I for one, when he was at the club last, I thought he could get a bit lazy at times. But if he comes back and puts in, geez, he could be one of those. It could be another Emi Buendia where he's come back hungry for more.
I completely get what Jake's saying about him being a little bit on the lazy side, especially towards the end of his time and stint. Now, we are not here to slag any players off. All of our players are wonderful people for our football club. But surely he cannot be any lazier than the Timberlands, man. Fucking Gesson. Good grief. Surely. Walking around in his fucking hiking boots.
It honestly looks like he's walking around every day. And I do hope Evan Gesson turns it around. I really hope he turns it around because those YouTube highlight reels that people are saying is AI of him whacking him in illegal. It's just crazy what confidence and play style and I guess the league does to a player.
The thing is, he scored goals as well. That's the thing.
I know. Like it's well, he has scored goals for Villa. They've been bangers in the Europa League for us. The go-ahead Eagles and the one at Bar.
Yeah, the one when he tripped over the ball and it fell.
Oh gosh. So we'll move on to Sunday's game. We're going to our favourite away day. We always do well at this ground, St James's Park. Boys, it's going to be a tough one. It's really going to be tough, and we'll talk about squad depth and everything before. And I was actually quite surprised how strong we went for Fenerbahçe, seeming we got this big game around the corner, but the boys are going to be up for it. They're going to be confident. Leon Bailey will be back amongst it. I don't think he'll start. Well, he might start. I don't know. I don't expect him to start, but he should be amongst the matchday squad. And do we go there ever and get 3 points OT?
No. Right, that's all, folks. Thanks for watching. No, it doesn't matter whether. I mean, use Everton last week. They had a more depleted squad than we did. So yeah. Newcastle have their injuries, but we just don't win there ever. We never will ever. It's the same with Wolves. Like, I'm already concerned for Wolves in a few weeks because, again, we never win there. It's been 20 years, I think, since we won at Newcastle. They could be 3 leagues below and they'd still beat us at home. We just, at least I've seen us score there, but then we conceded 5, so it didn't really count. But yeah, it's a tough place to go. I mean, for most teams it is anyway, but then some teams do seem to have a number on them up there. But yeah, we just seem to completely collapse every time we go there. So any kind of form goes out the window. And I mean, a point would be handy. I just don't think we'll get a result there.
I just remember us being battered so many times at St James's Park, even not just recent years, but obviously was it 5-1 last season or just before? And then it was 4-0 under when Gerrard got sacked after we beat Brentford 4-0. And then even when Andy Carroll was bursting on the scene, I think they beat us 6-1 there. And John Carew scored back in like 2010. Like, we always seem to get battered there. And when they're not in form, we just draw them. Jamal Lachelle scores a late winner, and El Mohammadi during lockdown or Project Restart scores a late equaliser there. But we just never go there, no matter what is going on, and look confident at all. And Jakey, there's one time for an upset. I would not mind it to be this weekend.
Yeah. It's always pretty grim going up there, not going to lie. And to be quite honest, just having a look at the table now, there's a lot to play for. Obviously with the City, with City also playing this weekend, and depending on their result, another chance to go second. But at the same time, equally for Newcastle, they're in a logjam of teams that are around them. I think just looking at this, I think from 5th to 11th or 5th to 12th, there's 5 points separating 5th to 12th. It's an absolute logjam, one that they're right in the middle of. But 3 points for Newcastle could easily catapult them into the top 5 if results go their way. But it's just, I would love to see an upset for once, just for once, and for us to go up there and actually, with a positive mindset. We've had such a good run lately with, with how we've played. We've been really positive, except for the Everton game. I just want to see us go up there and just get the 3 points. I don't care. I don't care if it's if it comes off the back of the keeper's head and goes in. Just, if we get the 3 points at Newcastle, I think it'll be huge strides, one that we can take with us.
I mean, if I'd offered you 3 points out of Everton and Newcastle, I reckon everyone would have taken it. Obviously, the way it could come around could be different if we have to beat Newcastle to get the 3 points and we lose to Everton. But still, that still puts us on path to where people expected us to be, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not sure many people do actually expect us to go to Newcastle and win, but no one expects us to win at Fenerbahçe. No one expects us to go there and get 3 points. So it'd be typical Villa if we can go there and get a win. I guess we should jump into some score predictions. OT, what do you reckon?
I completely forgot, actually, going back to that comment. My first away game was actually Newcastle. It was under Lambert, I think, and we lost 1-0 in like the 91st minute. It was awful. It was like a horrible Sunday afternoon. Oh, like this season, actually. I will try and be somewhat optimistic and go 1-1. But a point is probably better than, a point is always better than none, and it keeps them at bay. You can see in this league how quickly results can change and stuff like that. Like City can drop points very easily. Arsenal are susceptible to poor performances, which could then lead to drop points. So, yeah, as long as like the teams below us don't put on a massive run, then I think we're comfortable for now. And as long as we can back up and win maybe our home games or whatever. And I think someone put the stat out the other day about how we only really need about 6 wins, maybe 7. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And it gets us the same points we did last season. And we've still got a lot of winnable games, Burnley and Forest and Fulham and stuff like that. So
February
if you can pick up results, pick up results where you can, and fingers crossed we should be all okay. And I believe as well, top 5 is all but confirmed to get Champions League. I think the next round of Champions League fixtures should confirm that, I think.
Yeah, I think with all the teams kind of going through and whatnot. This was a key point I was going to make. I'll take a point and no injuries. Like, if we can just go through a week with no injuries and be fine, I'd absolutely take that. Jakey, what's your prediction for the game?
Luka Dean to score from the corner and we win 5-0. No, I'm just kidding. I would love for us to actually break the duck and actually get a win at St James's Park for once. I think it could be a Fenerbahçe type affair where it just does end up being the 1-0 either way. I'm gonna go prediction. I'm actually gonna be really positive this week, and go 1-0 to us. And I think Ollie Watkins does score that winner. Would love to say 1-0. I'll also happily take a 1-1 draw as well.
So we always seem to concede, no matter how well we're playing. I was actually surprised that we didn't concede last night against Fenerbahçe, but I'm going to be pretty positive as well. I think it could be a scrapey 1-0 win. It's going to be Leon Bailey. I think it's written in the stars that he's going to come on and score the winner and put the fingers to the ears like he did all those times ago and hit the ground running for us. It'd be sensational viewing if that was the case. But I think that's kind of everything we've got to touch on, isn't it, guys? Anyone else want to?
Just going to say, I don't know. I know we mentioned about injuries and stuff, but we do actually seem to have some positive news on the injury front. So Kamara hasn't done his ACL.
Yeah.
Which is positive. He has had surgery. So hopefully by the start of next season, providing we still keep him, he should be fit and fire and ready to go. Yeah. The McGinn one, maybe not so positive. I don't know enough about it. They're still doing checks and stuff. However, it was very good to see Onana back.
Very good to see Onana back. Yeah, good
given
point.
the fact that he was only about a week ago, they were like, "Oh, he might be back in first team training soon," because I am aware that he was training on his own. And then I believe Barkley is going to be in first team training next week as well, which again is handy. Although he doesn't necessarily do a lot in terms of his minutes, it's always just that extra player to have on the bench and can definitely help see out games when we're up and in control.
And
I
he's
know
not
Barkley-
exactly the worst player to come off the bench either.
No, he's
No.
handy. I think he's quite a handy player, and he has been for us ever since he rejoined. I think he's been a handy player.
I was gonna say he's someone that can play everywhere in the midfield, which is something we probably have missed. I think was it the Wolves game he came on and got injured? Was it Wolves? He came on for like 10 minutes, came on as a sub, got injured as a sub, and we have missed that versatility because, I mean, as I said, I think Hemming's going to be a great player for us in the future, but I'd rather bring on Ross Barkley in sort of these situations in games of where we do get to. But hopefully he's back and fit and firing. I heard he wants to leave the club, actually, but hopefully that will just be in the summer and he'll go to Wolves or whatever it's going to end up being for him. Championship football for him next season on the cards. But yeah, it's great to see Onana back. And I think that's it, isn't it? I can't think of anything else we've missed. There's no other real transfer news yet. Twitter's probably my most used app these days, to be honest. I'm absolutely strolling through it. It's like no tomorrow to find it on the news.
Let me just
I still can't stand Twitter. I had a look. I've finally been given the logins to the Coupe de Villa, social media and whatnot. And once again, would like to take the time to everybody in the comments. We are doing a lot more on Instagram, on our social media these days. Come and be a part of it. Come and write a few comments. Tell me how ugly I look. Whatever. Just it'd be great to be able to engage with you guys and our various social medias, which are down below OT there. Come and give us a like. Come and give us a follow.
Yeah, I'm wait there.
Well, myself and Noah have spoken. We want to do a lot more content that's just outside of the podcast as well. I know someone mentioned a darts game last week, which we confirmed the result. I did win that. Thank you, Noah. So yeah, there's a lot more that we want to be able to do. And obviously myself and Noah do hang out quite a fair bit. And Owen, unfortunately, you just might have to watch from 16,000 kilometres away.
Quite out of the way here, aren't I? Yeah.
But at least you're staying nice and cool. It's probably going to be 40 degrees today.
Oh, it's hot. I know all the cricket has been called off for like our league, so no cricket for us today, which is great.
Just the 4 degrees tomorrow.
One extreme to the other. I like it.
But we'll definitely be back doing a Newcastle review Monday night UK time, Monday morning. Sorry, Monday night UK time, Monday night.
Just a heads up as well, people. There's a very quick turnaround. We play again in the Europa League this coming week. There's not a week off. We go straight into the last game week.
Perfect.
And then
so that's
from there we should be able to know one of the 4 teams that will get in the last 16. Now, as it stands, I know it will change. There may be at least 1 or 2 of them in there, but as it stands, the 4 teams, if you're not aware, that we could get in the last 16 are Fenerbahçe, Bologna, Forest, and I can't remember the other one, Pilsen maybe. But yeah, 2 teams we've already played and 1 team we play twice every season. So riveting stuff.
So who are we going to get? Forest, 100%.
I'd take Forest. It saved me a lot of money. I could get the train up like an hour before kickoff and not worry about it, and then go straight back to bed.
That's very valid, but it's going to be interesting. Who do you want to play, OT? Who's someone, if you could pick an away day or someone
Let me get the league book quickly. I've got it here. Looking through that playoffs, because we can't play one of the top 8, can we, in the last 16?
No.
Mm-hmm. Lille are in there. That was a good trip. Celtic, that would be fun again. If I wanted somewhere rogue, maybe somewhere like Panathinaikos, Porto.
Porto would be good.
Celta Vigo, yeah. you've got to beat anyone to kind of win this competition.
Yeah.
I mean, Leon concern me. They look quite sharp.
They do.
The
They do
rest, although actually looking at this, a couple of teams haven't lost a game in the league phase. But as you saw with PSG last season, the league phase is irrelevant. They finished 19th or something.
Yeah, they just snuck in and they won the whole thing.
I know it's probably out of calculation, but would you enjoy a trip to Crna Zvezda, Red Star Belgrade?
No. I've seen enough about Red Star and Partizan and stuff like that to go. I think I'd be more content going to Germany or somewhere like that. Now, up until this season, and even this season, we've had quite nice trips in terms of accessibility. Amsterdam and Belgium and France and places that are easy to get to. Serbia is different. Put it that way.
That's fair enough. Yeah. I mean, put in the comments who you guys want to get or who you think we're gonna get in the round of 16 Europa League. It's interesting times. It's nice we get a couple of weeks off and from that competition as of next week. Is it March they come back?
Yeah. So the playoffs are in Feb. So I guess from our perspective, it's handy just to not have to have those extra 2 games.
Yeah,
especially with our injury concern and any team's kind of injury record. It's good just to not have those 2 games. And yeah, I think it falls around the weekend of Wolves away and I don't know who else we've got. Maybe Leeds at home. That sort of weekend.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. But yeah, put in the comments who you want to play.
I might put it up in a poll on Instagram later. Who do you want to see? Who do you want to play in the last 16?
Well, I guess what you could do as well, when we get the 4 confirmed teams next week that we could play, that would be handy to do a who can see.
Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, once I guess that comes through. But anything else, guys? Anyone have anything else?
No, stay nice and cool today.
Yeah, stay nice and cool if you're in Australia.
Yeah, I will.
In Melbourne. Yeah, I'd say you might struggle with that. But yeah, so we're back Monday morning UK time, Monday night Melbourne time, probably the same time. Was it 9 a.m., 10 a.m. UK time? But yeah, until next time, up the Villa. Thanks for watching the latest Coot de Villa podcast. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and also follow all our social media links down below. Until next time, up the Villa.